And Jonathan Ehrlich, a Vancouver businessman, narrowly escaped the terrorists' hold on the Taj Hotel. He told his compelling story to CNN's Tony Harris.
After having dinner in the Oberoi lobby, I went upstairs to my room and received a text from my colleague, Alex Chamberlain, who was actually in the Oberoi lobby with a friend having a drink. He invited me to come down and have a drink with him, and I thought about it, but I had a flight to Delhi the next morning, so I decided to take a pass and just go to sleep. And as it turns out, obviously, the terrorists came in to the lobby. They actually took Alex and his friend hostage and were marching them up to the roof when Alex actually escaped. Alex fled and hid on one of the floors. His friend is actually still in the Oberoi, and I haven't heard the status of him. So that was the lucky decision number one. Lucky decision number two was, so after Alex texted me and I went to bed, I fell asleep relatively quickly. I was a bit jet lagged. And about an hour later, there was a knock at my door, and then the doorbell rang, and I thought to myself, who could this be? I mean, the only person I really knew in the hotel was Alex, and I knew he was in the bar. And there's no way it was the hotel staff this late with a turn-down service, so I stayed in bed and then didn't get up, didn't say a word. And then 5 minutes later, the chaos started and the bombs went off. And I learned a couple hours later at the airport that the terrorists had first gone to reception and got the photocopies of people's passports and were looking for Westerners in their rooms. And Ehrlich with an E in room 1820, I'm assuming, was one of their first stops. So I didn't get out of bed, and I'm still here.
Jonathan, how harrowing, if you would, describe the trip from getting from your floor, I believe it was the 18th floor?
That's right.
Into the lobby. Describe that for us.
Well, I mean, the first bomb went off, and I got out of bed, and I wasn't really sure what was going on. So I went to the window, and just as I got to the window, a huge puff of gray smoke was coming up towards me. And I knew something was wrong, and I started to make my way out into the hotel floor, and another bomb went off, and this time I knew for sure something was really bad. I knew it was an attack. The whole hotel shook, and so I quickly went into the hall, and I heard them say bomb. And as soon as I heard those words, it was like an explosion in my chest took me hold. And adrenaline just started to pump through my body. I went back into my room. I threw my clothes into my bag. I ran out into the hallway. I ran down 18 flights of stairs as fast as I've ever run anything in my whole life. And on the way down, I actually called a colleague of mine to get me on a flight out. I got to the lobby, and when I got to the lobby, I was sort of on the inside of the lobby, and there was a whole bunch of people sort of milling around. And I couldn't understand why people were just sitting there. There was no hotel staff, no security, no police, and I honestly felt like a sitting duck. So I made my way from sort of the bowels of the hotel into the lobby. I took a couple of steps with another woman, and I saw blood on the floor and broken glass. And again, that was not the place you wanted to be. So I turned around. I went back into sort of the bowels of the hotel. People were just standing there, and I said, "Guys, we got to get out of here." And I just went to the exits. Ran to the basement, ran out into the alley, and when I got to the alley, there was still no one there. It was probably 100 yards on either side before I saw people. I saw a couple of security guards who then saw me. They were screaming at me to run, and I ran towards them. And I came out, and I don't know if you've ever been to India, but I basically rounded the corner, and then all of a sudden the masses of the Indian people were there. There must have been 1,000 people on the street. And I just started screaming, "Airport, airport." And one of the guys from the hotel, who must have been a cook or something, basically grabbed me and my bag and threw me into a taxi, and off I went to the airport.
Jonathan, now that you've had an opportunity to grasp the full scope and scale of this, what are your thoughts on just how fortunate you are to be here now?
Well, I was the luckiest man on earth before, and now I'm the double luckiest man on earth. I've been blessed since the day I was born with great family and great friends and fantastic kids and the best wife on earth. Today I feel incredibly lucky, but you know what else? I feel very, very bad for the people in India. And if I could give one message to your audience, that they should go to their travel agent today and buy a ticket to Mumbai. These are incredible people who deserve our support. The people who did this have no soul. It doesn't matter whether you're Indian, whether you're Thai, whether you're Jewish, Christian, doesn't matter. They just kill you because you represent everything that is good. So please go. Please go. They need your support.
And you absolutely believe, and I read this in your note, that as to the character of these terrorists, that if you were there with your family, with your children, that they would have shot you dead.
There's no doubt. They do not discriminate. They don't care. This isn't rational. This is pure, unadulterated evil. And if I was standing there, first of all, I'm Jewish, and if they knew I was Jewish, I'd be dead. But if I was carrying my children, or if I was walking with an elderly person, they don't care. It doesn't matter. They would have shot me dead. There is no remorse in their heart. This is an evil ideology that is unfortunately indiscriminate. It does not matter. It does not matter whether you're on the left, on the right. It doesn't matter. What matters is that you were there and you looked American, and that means you were dead.
One other quick question, Jonathan. I know you're aware of the story of the Brooklyn rabbi and members, we believe, of his family who were killed at the Jewish center there in Mumbai. And you just mentioned that you're Jewish. I wonder how it feels to be part of a group that was purposely targeted by these attackers, these terrorists.
There are a billion people in India, and there are 10,000 Jews. It's kind of funny how they just managed to focus on the 10,000 Jews. Look, the sad truth of it is that Jews are a target everywhere because of who they are. That's been the way for us for a very long time, sadly. And I certainly feel terrible for the family. I feel very bad for the Jewish community at large. But we're tough. We can take it, and it's not going to change our behavior whatsoever. I can't wait for all the Israelis to buy their tickets. I'm sure they're doing that today to the many people out there who support Israel and support the Jewish people. I'm sure they're all planning on buying their tickets, or at least I hope so. We're going to pick ourselves up, clean ourselves off, and go about our business, because there's no way these guys are going to win.